Okay, good, good, good. Okay, hello and welcome, welcome, welcome. So we've got a few people here, which is wonderful, and thank you so much for being here. Here we just admit a couple of extra people. Okay, perfect. My name is Cassandra Cooper, and I'm looking at quite a few familiar faces and quite a few new faces to me anyway. My name, as I said, is Cassandra Cooper. For those who don't know me, I'm a spiritual teacher and healer in the Lineage of King Salomon with Modern Mystery School. And the reason why we're all here today is to be able to talk and to find out more about the Empower Thyself program and initiation. And I've titled it igniting the transformational power within, or and which is really special, and it's a subject that I can really spend a lot of time talking about. Now I know that we've got a few people here that have already been to Empower Thyself program, which is fantastic. But that's not all we're going to be talking about, of course, and and so that's that. Now, as some of you know, I'm Australian. I'm from Hobart, actually, and I moved back here about 10 months ago now, especially to be able to offer this program to Australians, because it's strange. It's not been offered here, although it is offered worldwide. And we have a very special guest here tonight, and I'm so excited to introduce her. She's an absolute powerhouse of a lady, and someone who I know from my time when I lived in Spain and then into London. Her name is Divina Kate Bartram-Brown. And she is the head of Modern Mystery School in Europe and UK. Not only that, she's also one of the women in the Council of 12 who oversee the day-to-day running of Modern Mystery School globally. And also she's the co-leader of the Western World Healers Academy. So if that's on your list of something that you're going to do, then it's likely that you'll get to meet her there. And putting that aside from the Modern Mystery School, I mean, like, if that's not enough, she's also PhD in natural medicine, and she's a CEO of her own global award-winning business, Mini Me Yoga. So welcome, Divina Kate. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Lovely to see you all. Lovely to see you all. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. And I know you've had already such an incredibly busy few weeks organizing your own international program. And you're about to fly out to Toronto in a couple of days for, again, another international Modern Mystery School program. So we're very, very lucky people. We're very lucky to have her for the small amount of time that we have her tonight. So I'm kind of racing through my words because I don't want to miss a single second.
Yeah, I'm excited to share with you. It's my favorite topic, as you know. So
I know, mine too. And I think that's why we get on so well. So really, can we kick off perhaps the conversation about the Empower Thyself program and how, Empower is in the title of the program. So how exactly is this empowering for individuals?
well, it's a huge question, isn't it? Because, first of all, it's like, well, what is empowering? What is it that we're seeking? What is it that we're looking for? And ultimately, in the ancient scriptures and in all of the paths, something that everybody agrees on is that, we're looking and seeking the wisdom of knowing ourselves, but knowing ourselves as divine beings. So knowing ourselves as the real us, not just the masks that we put on when we go out to the supermarket, or, you know, when we see our family, or, you know, when we've put the masks on so that we can cope in school and we can cope in work situations, or be the mom, or be the, you know, whatever it is. So it's not about getting to know the personality, what we would refer to as the personality. That's the programming that we have, that we've had, you know, growing up, and we're all, you know, subject to that. Now, what we want to do is we want to know ourselves as the real us, the divine us, the God self us, the you know, the goddess, the God, whatever terminology you want to call it. But it really is, you know, the higher self, the part of us that really understands us as this unlimited being that we actually are. So when we talk about Empower Thyself in the Lineage of King Solomon, we're talking about us understanding ourselves as that unlimited being, that unlimited, you know, unlimited access to the source, to the power, to joy, to abundance, to wealth, to, you know, all these different things that we want to experience whilst we're in the physical. So it's really you know, really an amazing opportunity to be able to study the self, you know, in an ancient lineage. And Empower Thyself really is the foundational teachings of that step onto that path. So, you know, in the lineage of the mystery school, in the lineage of King Solomon, what we do is we normally meet somebody quite magically. And, you know, there's no coincidences. We meet somebody magically that can do something called a life activation. And some of you may have already received a life activation or not yet. And the life activation really is something that we start off with, and we awaken the spiritual and the physical DNA. And that's been done for thousands and thousands of years. And that's been handed down through our lineage. And this helps us to start to remember who we truly are. So it helps us connect us back in, to find our purpose. And then often enough, after we've had that, we feel that call to want to know more. And this is where Empower Thyself really comes in, because we want to know more about ourselves. We want to know more about what we can actually do. We want to know more about our purpose. And so therefore, we step onto this path of initiation. And initiation is something that has been done for thousands of years in many different lineages over those thousands of years. Sadly, it has been lost, you know, in many of our cultures, and you know, we don't see it as often as, you know, we might have done hundreds of years ago. But we in the mystery school have kept the tradition of initiation alive, and so we've, you know, handed that down through the ages, and kept it as pure as it was thousands of years ago. And that's how we hold the magic of the lineage, or what you would refer to the power or the empowerment. That's it. You know, so the key is that Empower Thyself is, yes, it's foundational teachings. Yes, you're going to be handed down lots of different keys to help you work in your everyday life, to help you achieve what it is that you want to do, to help you grow spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. It's going to help you do all of those. However, the difference being is that at the end, you will receive something called an initiation. And that is the true empowerment. That's the secret, you know, and really, you know, I searched for many years for this, and I could not find it. You know, I was searching and searching and searching. And when I found it, I was like, my goodness, you know, finally, because this initiation, it anchors that light and that joy and all of the different things that, you know, we have access to into our physical structure, so that we can actually live a life that's, live life alive. So yeah, I mean, that's it in a nutshell. There's lots more, but I hope that helps
Yeah.
out.
That does nut it out a little bit. It's the initiation. That's the thing that really drove me forward in my own growth and progression. And I didn't know anything about it, of course. I just turned up to this class because, I wanted to study. I wanted to study what the ancients studied, and I knew that the Modern Mystery School could give me that. So but there's always that deeper, a deeper calling, whether we're conscious of it or not. We end up in these places, and now I'm getting this initiation, and it transformed my life a lot. I wonder if you have a story or an example that you can give us of someone who's or maybe yourself that have experienced transformation in this way from the initiation.
Yeah, I think it's always easy to talk about your own experiences,
Yeah.
isn't it? Because and this is true, as well in the mystery school. We always say, try it for yourself, experience for yourself, because everybody's so unique and so individual. And what my experience might be and what your experience might be very different to the next person. So that's the beauty and the magic of initiation. I mean, it is very, very, obviously very sacred and very powerful because of that reason. It works with the individual as to where they are and where they are wanting to go. So that, for me, when I had the initiation, again, I like many of us, we turned up to this class not knowing what to expect. It just sounded fun, and it sounded like, I'm going to be doing cool things and learning about the universe, and I'm going to be learning about metaphysics and quantum physics and all these cool things that we all want to learn about, and learning about the angels and how to work with them, and all these cool things that we get to do in Empower Thyself. Really understanding how we can wield the power of the universe, how it's all contained within us, and how when we master ourselves, we master our lives and the universe. Oh my God, that all sounds amazing. And then I remember them talking about initiation. And like you, I had no idea, really. I had no idea, because I was so excited about the class and so excited about what I was going to learn, because that was my programming, my human mind, oh yeah, this is going to be really great. I didn't really have any inkling or understanding of what transformation was about to take part. And we did the class, and I had a great time, and it stretched me, though. It did stretch me. So I was like really challenged in some areas. Like, oh my goodness, it really got me thinking. And, did I believe this or did I not? Or all these things. And it was really, it was really good, because it helped me, ask those hard questions and think, oh, is this, can I do this, or could I do this? So it was really challenging. I really like that. And I think it really attracts people that are like that as well, that we like, we got, a little bit of something about us, and so I really enjoyed that. And then this initiation, I had this initiation at the end, and I kind of went home and thought, I'm not going to do, my human brain kicked in. I thought, I'm not going to do any of this. This is just not going to work. It's silly, all these things came up for me. And then I remember thinking, Kate, you've paid for this class, so let's just use these tools, because it would be silly not to, because I was an entrepreneur at the time. So I was, I wanted value and investment, and I was thinking from that place, and thank God I did. And so I remember thinking, oh yeah, I'm just going to give it a whirl. And so I started to use the tools from the class. But what I noticed after the initiation was that the pain in my body started to disappear, and the pain in my mind started to disappear. And, you know, I had been a fairly successful person in my life, you know, had worked in television, I'd had a business, sold my business, you know, I was fairly successful. I had a nice marriage, I got, you know, a nice home, you know, I got all these different things. It wasn't that I was suffering in that sense, but I had been very ill. I'd had cancer early, you know, my late 20s. And so this pain that was in my body, that was left over from that, and the pain in my mind from lots of different things, stress, pressures, all these different types of things were still there, even though I had this, you know, seemingly very lovely life, and I, you know, had, you know, and I was very lucky to have all of that, absolutely. But it was physical pain. Mm-hmm. And what I noticed after the initiation is that this physical pain started to dissipate, started to leave. I had cysts in my ovaries still, they disappeared. I had the pain in my mind started to go, and I no longer had anxiety, no longer had panic attacks. It all started to shift after that point. Now, I remember thinking back and thinking nothing's happening, you know, because when you're in it, I remember thinking, oh, nothing's happening. And then 6 months went by and I looked back and I thought, oh my goodness, I'm not in pain anymore. Because I'd been so used to being in pain that it was just kind of there all the time. And my mind is clear. The fog has lifted. I can think clearly. So these were the initial things that happened to me after initiation. And of course, you know, people report in all sorts of different things after initiation. But this is what happened to me. And from that point, I actually experienced joy for the very first time. So I had actually been seeking this for a long time. Joy, not happiness. I mean, everybody can, you know, be happy, you know, but happy is a state where you attain it and then it goes. And this is something that I learned, you know, oh, we're always chasing the happiness. Oh, just pass this exam, you'll be happy. Just get this car, you'll be happy. Just get this handbag, you'll be happy. Just get this, you'll be happy. And this is kind of, you know, what my programming from school and government and, you know, the world that I lived in was like, you know, do these things and then you're happy for a moment and then you have to work to get to the happiness again. But I was so sad, and I was so sad because nothing hit that core part of me that I just felt this sadness all the time. And I suspect that's why I had physical pain, you know, I just felt sad. And for the first time, after, you know, when I had my initiation, I felt joy. And this came through me doing something that I would never have done pre-initiation. I learned how to teach kids yoga, something very simple. I would never have done that before initiation. There's no way that you would have caught me doing kids yoga, you know, it just wasn't me. And after initiation, I thought, no, I'd like to do this. And I did it. And all this joy came to me. And I realized in that moment, if I hadn't have had the life activation and if I hadn't have done Empower Thyself, I would never have taken these steps and I would never have felt the joy. And to me, that's being wealthy, because if you're in a state of joy constantly, you can overcome any challenge. You can sort out any problem, any arguments, anything. If you're in that state of joy, there's nothing that you can't, you know, work around or achieve. And for me, I realized, hang on, I need to help other people do this, because I can't keep this just for myself, because this is just too big, you know, to have this state of joy and have this peace in my mind and my heart and my soul. You can't buy that. You just can't buy that. So that's the transformation that I received. I mean, of course, there's many other things that have happened since then, but you know, that was the major one.
It's such a nice story. I mean, I feel like we have a lot of things in common, you know, in this way. When I found the Modern Mystery School, I was successful in my own right as well. I had a family. We lived overseas. We had done a lot of travel. We were financially, well, fine. But still there was this thing that there's more, like there has to be a deeper something, and whatever it is. And I was searching for it in so many different ways. And I'm just so grateful that I found, for whatever reason, I wanted to study Kabbalah. And that's where I found, after many Google searches and that sort of thing, I found the Modern Mystery School. And I would complain because I had to fly to London to do that. Anyway, I ended up flying to London so many times that I moved there so that I could also share with Australians this thing called Empower Thyself, an initiation. And a lot of people ask me, and a lot of people here are of that way, but I'd love some clarity around, what's the difference between what the Modern Mystery School offers and other spiritual paths and teachings. Like, could you explain a little about that?
Yeah, it's such a good question, and kind of a hard question at the same time, because we always want to speak from integrity. People that walk the path, we want to speak in integrity, and sometimes I can't talk about the difference between other paths because I haven't walked them. I just haven't walked them, so I don't actually know. So I will hold my hands up and say, in many cases, I just don't know because I haven't experienced those paths. But what I can tell you in the paths that or the things that I tried pre-mystery school, and then when I found the mystery school, the difference really is lineage. It's lineage. And that's the very short answer. And probably people are going to think, well, there's a lineage of this. And yes, there are, but there are very few that I have found. Again, not saying, what I say is, I'm not speaking for the 7 billion people on the planet. But what I found is that when I was seeking this spiritual knowledge and wisdom, that I would experience modality, I would experience a class, and they would be fabulous, and I would really enjoy them. And then there would be this, warm sense of feeling like, yeah, I'm coming home. And I would get really excited. And then it would kind of just fade away. After a while, it would just fade away. Or I would get to a stage where there was no more to learn. There was no, that's it. I'd reached the top of that, that mountain, and there was nothing else there. So when I came to the mystery school, what I understood from my own direct experience is when I reached the top of the mountain and the mystery school, because it's a lineage, from the top of that mountain, I could see many other mountains within the lineage to climb. So that was the main difference for me. And that feeling of coming home never went away. It was always there. And now I know, obviously through the power of the initiation, that's anchored into your physical structure, so that you can, our gift, our magic in the Modern Mystery School is that we can bring heaven on earth, which means we can walk as divine gods, goddesses in the physical. So that's that's what we're all learning how to do. That's how we're all, we're all on that path. And so we're always anchoring that divinity within our physical life. So that is very different, I think, to what I had experienced previously.
Yeah, for me too. Like, you've touched a good point, because in my searching before I found the mystery school, like I explained before, in my searching, I found lots of different things that I could do. Different meditations. I was doing some oracle work and working in yoga. I became a Kundalini yoga teacher, and all of these things. But nothing really. It all gave me good experiences, and it's taught me somewhat about myself, but there was nothing that really pushed me forward as fast as what I'd learned from the Modern Mystery School. It really felt like it was very practical, like something I could use every day, that was bringing life to me, and it's just I think that's, for me, the difference. And the thing is, I mean, Empower Thyself is really just one step. What I loved about this, and being a personal trainer for many, many years, I really love a program where I've got a step forward, and then the next step, and then the next step, because once you get to empower thyself, your life shifts so much. And it is an incredible experience. And then you want to have that again, because the next step for sure is going to catapult you further in the direction of your, of the life that you were born to live. And so then it goes on to Healers Academy, and then you've got all of these extra steps. So could you just touch a little bit on, because the next favorite subject of mine is the path of progression, just for maybe 2 minutes, and then we can open up for questions.
Yeah, I think it's huge. It's huge because in a true lineage, in a what we would call in a pure mystery school lineage, in a Hermetic tradition, there's always has to be progression, because the world is made up of, it's energy, isn't it? Everybody agrees that, whether we're scientists or logical, non-logical, we all agree everything is energy. So we know that energy is always moving. Now we know that energy can't be stagnant, because if it's stagnant, it starts to regress. And we are made up of energy, so that we always have to be progressing. And this is why it's so important in a true lineage, that you will always push beyond your comfort zone, because that is where the magic is. There's no good sitting on the settee, thinking about things and wishing it to happen from the comfort of your own sofa. It's nice to do that and it's comfortable, but it's not going to get you where you want to get, if you wanted to get fit. Like you're a trainer, you have to get up off the sofa, you have to put your training outfit on, and then you rush out, and you're going to get sweaty, and and your muscles are going to it hurt a little bit, and you become uncomfortable. But then in that uncomfortableness, you get fitter and you get stronger. And so that's the physical body. So the spiritual body is no different, it's exactly the same. So it's absolutely key that we have this path of progression. And so in the mystery school, because we're unlimited beings, there will always be another step. There always has to be. We can always know ourselves that little bit more. And in the ancients said that we will be polishing the stone. We're always polishing the stone. There's always more, shininess to come. There's always polishing the stones. This is what we do in the mystery school. And we're doing that so that we can be the greatest version of ourselves. So in that, we have steps, easy steps. It's like a map, I guess you would call it, to navigate your way to your greatest, potential, which is another reason why I love studying in a mystery school lineage, is because it's been mapped out. Our ancestors have been doing this for thousands of years. There's absolutely no need for us to be fumbling around in books and trying to find it all ourselves and all the keys and everything. Well, hey, it's already been done. So, you know, I'm entrepreneur, I'm efficient, and, you know, so I'm like, okay, so this is great. So this is why we have these keys. So we do empower that. So, you know, after empower thyself, you're right, life does shift and does change so much. And chances are, you know, you're going to want more light in your life, more positive energy. So the next step would be Healers Academy, and that's 5 days. And in this Healers Academy, you learn how to do the life activation for others. Why do we do this? Well, this is the most important step to achieve enlightenment, or to achieve your greatest version of you, is through service. All paths agree on this. It's not just the mystery school, you know, to be in service, to help another understand their godhood, their divinity, is service. In our tradition, that's how we would define it. So, you know, it's not just about being a good person, because we're all good people, we can all do that, it's fantastic. But this is something that we can actually help awaken the potential, like somebody did for me. And I was so grateful. I was like, okay, somebody did this for me. Thank God, you know, thank you. I want that joy. And I loved it, being in joy so much. I want to do that for others. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be a professional healer. You might just do this for your friends and family. It's, you know, so there's many different variants of, you know, becoming, you know, a healer in the mystery school. But that 5 days is also a lot about self-healing. It's huge. And you really can't, you know, put this into words, those, you know, those 5 days of how that light gets in to our life. And, you know, afterwards we have another initiation, and it anchors, you know, 100 times more light into our lives. So that, again, imagine you've had 10 times more light anchored in Empower Thyself, and now you're going to 100 times. You can imagine your container, your energy structure is full of light. We know energy attracts like in the spiritual world. So if we've got all this light and all this beautiful energy coming in, guess what's going to be attracted into our life? Yes, we're going to get higher vibration. And then as we, you know, as we work and as we serve, as we do those life activations, it's going to lift up again and lift up again, lift up again. And so this is how we progress in the mystery school, is through sharing that light with others and doing the work. And of course, there's many different ways that you can do that in classes as well. I mean, you could do sacred geometry too, which is, you know, be a crystal healer. Everybody loves crystals. I mean, you know, it's just fantastic. You could learn how to crystal grid at, you know, home. You could do sacred geometry 3, where you learn an Egyptian aura healing. You know, there's many different ways. Ensophic ray, you could learn how to wield the ray of the Ensof. I mean, it's just, you know, I have experienced miracles time and time again with that. So these are all the steps that we have on the path of progression. You know, and in the mystery school, the map, just to outline, you know, we have the path of the healer, the path of the warrior, you know, for those who like to, you know, go up and say no, you know, no to things that are not good for humans. No, this is not the way it should be. Let's bring in the light. So it's all about bringing in the light. And then, of course, you have Kabbalah, which is the path of ascension. It's not an initiation. It's the middle pit. It's a tool that we would use as initiates to help us reach that divinity. So, yeah, I know I only had 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, sorry. I kind of did you one there, Divina Kate, because really 2 minutes path of progression, go, you know, like it's an impossible task. And I think you did very well. And as you can see, everyone, this is such an incredible subject. It's already been over half an hour. And really, there's so much more for us to talk about, but we can't. If you have any questions, you're welcome to type them into the chat, or just take yourself off mute, and we might have time for a quick couple of questions. I'll wait and see. But yes, thank you so much already. You know, the initiation for me is so much power and light that comes in. I'm so, that's the thing I think that really was in my mind after Empower Thyself for me. Okay, I think everyone is gone quiet, which is okay. We talked about a lot, so perhaps nothing is coming to mind straight away.
I'm happy to answer any questions. There are no silly questions, but I know it's a lot to take in. And what I always think is, if you're interested in just knowing more, is have a conversation. Have a conversation, contact Cassandra or your nearest guide, whoever it is. Have a conversation, see if it's right for you. And I have learned that it's through direct experience that we know, and having the life activation is just a great session to have. It's going to support you in every area of your life, and then you can actually get to sample the energy and see if you like it, and then from there you can make your decision, if you're near to a life activation practitioner. So I just think, go for it. That's my advice.
Yeah, mine too. We get to it. Like we said, we both didn't know what we were doing when we turned up. And now look at us. Kasia says the path, it truly changed her life. And she's so grateful to you, Divina, for all the amazing guidance. And I think that's really important to know, is that this for me has always been about community as well. And having Divina Kate here as my guide and mentor, plus there's so many others that are willing to give advice and give encouragement and leadership along the way. It's truly remarkable, actually, seeing these women in these positions of leadership and seeing how truly the divine feminine really works really well. Aisha says, thank you so much for sharing, and you're so welcome. Jin here. And yes, the recording is available for later on. Perfect.
Hi, Cassandra.
Hi, Carrie.
Hi, Divina Kate. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
Hi. I've got a question for you. I'm really drawn to the Kabbalah sort of line of Ascension program, but I really feel like I'm being pushed towards Healers Academy. What are the advantages of doing Healers Academy prior to doing, which order would you say is a good thing to do it in?
It's such a great question. And actually, I asked the same question to, because I lead Healers Academy, so I know it from that perspective. And I actually asked this question to Ipsisma Teresa, who's the head of Ipsisma of Kabbalah. And she said something really quite wonderful. And it's actually on one of my podcasts, so you can go back and have a look. But she said, that Healers Academy reaches the parts of us that the tree doesn't. It's just going in so deep, and that light comes in, so that then when you go to Kabbalah, when you go into your ascension, you're going to be able to receive so much more and understand so much more. I mean, here in the UK, it is a requirement to have Healers Academy before Kabbalah, but it's not that like that in every area. So it's not to say that that's just the way. That's not, there's no one way. Does that make sense? It's some people might then join Kabbalah, and then because Healers Academy isn't happening for a couple of months, then join the Healers Academy partway through the tree. So that's also a great way to do it. So so it might be to do with timing, but yes, I would definitely recommend Healers Academy, because it's an initiation. It's an initiation.
So getting more out of Kabbalah, having done Healers Academy, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And if the timing happens and you were to start Kabbalah and then go into Healers Academy, that would also work, so just depending on where you are in the world and what's happening.
Okay. Where down the arse end?
I've heard it's absolutely beautiful. So, you know, it's far away from us, but my goodness, I've heard it's absolutely stunning.
Yes, well, we're just down in Hobart, and it's absolutely the most beautiful part of the world. You wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So
Yeah.
very grateful to do Empower Thyself down there. Just beautiful.
So pleased. I hope to be there one day and see it for myself. I really do. I've just, yeah, so good that it's there.
You'll never go once. You'll keep coming back. Yeah.
Love it.
Belinda Davidson, who's coming to Empower Thyself in January in Hobart next year. She just asked if there's any chance Australia will have a Healers Academy.
Well, you know, here's the thing. We never say never. However, at the moment, Healers Academy happens in Japan. So it's not a million miles away. London, Toronto, and occasionally it happens like once a year in South Africa and Brazil. So these are the places that Healers Academy happens, but each of these areas have had to you know, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, so it might not be for a good few years. but you know, we never say never. However, it's unlikely to be in the next, you know, 5 to 10 years, you know, but hey, we're in Shambhala, so who knows? So I don't want to say never, you know, let's see.
That's all right. We'll roll up our sleeves and we'll get the work done so that that we can make it happen for people to come eventually in the years to come.
I mean, I was in the Middle East when I found the mystery school. Just, you know, I lived in the Middle East, and at that time there was really no programs in London either. So I had to travel to Canada for everything. So, you know, Kabbalah, I traveled 4 times a year from the Middle East to Canada. I did my ritual master part in Canada, part in Japan. You know, Healers Academy, I did actually do that in Ireland at the time. It wasn't in London, so I was able to do that in Ireland, but again, I had to travel. So I do get it, I understand. But it does make you stronger traveling and bringing that light back. So
yeah.
So Healers Academy in Japan, how is that different? I mean, obviously it's English.
Yeah, so Healers Academy happens, you know, quite a few times in Japan. They've got a huge community. You would need a translator, of course, but we could happily pop you in touch with the team there. And it is a little bit different because obviously you're having a translator. So right. That would, you know,
yes, yeah,
you know, so but it is possible for sure.
Yeah, everything is possible. And that's what I've learned definitely, is that when you're working with the magic of the lineage, is that anything is possible. I moved to London in the middle of COVID and then to Brazil to do my ritual master initiation. Really, that was pure magic that happened. But I think we've taken up a lot of time now from Divina Kate. So thank you very much for being with us.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you for the questions, and thank you for everybody for attending. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. And for everyone who came along, thank you so much. And if you'd like to chat further, then give me a call or give your life activation practitioner or guide a call. If you don't know who that is in your area, then you have my email now. So message me and I'll put you in contact. Otherwise, I'll see you all very, very soon, I'm sure, somewhere along the track. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.